Welcome back to the calendar. I'm Michelle Horst, of course, here with Chris Copley, and we are going over all the events coming up in and around Hagerstown over the next couple days, weeks actually. So we are right in the middle of, we just finished the Farm Toy Show, which is great. Make sure you check that out. But how about, let's switch gears now to quilts.
Quilts. Now, quilts have been they're like as American as apple pie. You know, they go back in our history forever. When all you had was scraps of fabric, from worn out shirts or seed bags. I mean, you put them together and you made a blanket because you were cold and your kids were cold. So quilts have a long history. Now they're much more artistic nowadays. But this is a show of old quilts, of historic quilts that were collected by Louis and Catherine Hogg. And they'll be on display at the Washington County Museum of Fine Arts here in Hagerstown. The show is opening this weekend. There's a reception on Sunday. Traditional patterns and traditional, these are older quilts, so there's more than 20 of them. So there'll be a nice show. And quilts are generally big, so it'll be a room full.
That's wonderful. Quilts they're so artistic. I know my grandmother used to quilt all the time, and she tried to teach me when I was little, and it's kind of like, it's magic. It's just, it's amazing what you can do when you have that talent.
Yes.
But let's give you that information up on the screen. Let's see, reception from 2:30 to 4 on Sunday, and that's November 17th. And then the exhibit is going to be there through April?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And our favorite price for admission, it's free. And of course, it's at the Washington County Museum of Fine Arts.
Now this next item is an interesting one. This is kind of out of the ordinary. I went down and did a story on Bloomery Plantation Distillery down near Charlestown. They do limoncello, which is an Italian-style lemon liqueur, and with different flavorings of that, peach and raspberry and so forth.
I've heard that's very popular.
It is really.
I've heard that's very popular.
They do tastings supreme, just delightful. But this week they're having Vera Anthony, who is an African-born chef, trained in France, came to Charlestown, and she's trying to launch a new series of smoked meats. Now, to help get her recipes, the way she wants them, she's getting some feedback from consumers. So she's providing free tastes here at the distillery, so folks can come and, of course, they can sample the liqueur, but then they can also sample the smoked meats and give feedback on, I like this, I don't like this spicing, this is too hot for me, and so forth. So Vera can take that and then, revise her recipes, and then eventually she'll roll out.
So it benefits her and, of course, everyone that goes.
Yeah, it's just a nice time. So,
wonderful.
So let's get that information on the screen. The tasting is from 1 to 4 Saturday, the 17th, at Bloomery Plantation Distillery in Charlestown. It's free. There is no charge for the tasting.
That's amazing.
Yes, it is. That's really nice. And there's an email address and a phone number there on the screen.
All right, so now we're going to go. We went from toys to quilts to meats. Now we're going to go into our design show for the holidays.
And this is a nice thing. As the holidays are approaching, people have, you want to decorate your house, either the inside and the outside. And so there are some of the garden clubs and some institutions like Flowers Unlimited will organize a show where you can come and see either new trends or just, again, see new ideas and how to take what you've got around your own house, shrubs and flowers and wild things growing, how to make them into something that you can display for the holidays. So this is hosted by the Women's Club of Martinsburg, this design show, and there'll be food to eat, desserts. It's a nice event, and then the centerpiece is designs by, in this case, Anthony and Mark. Now, you had spoken to them, didn't you, once upon a time?
I did. They have Flowers Unlimited in Martinsburg. If you've never been in that store, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I was thinking, too, when you get ready to decorate for the holidays and you realize how much stuff you have, and it's kind of like, sort of like when you're moving, you don't realize how much stuff you have until you have to do it. And so if you can take some of those things that are lying around and make designs, that's beneficial for everyone because you're not buying anything, you're saving money, more for Christmas gifts. So let's look at that information. Sunday the 17th, of course, the Holiday Inn in Martinsburg, right there off 81. $18 in advance, $20 at the door, and of course you can get tickets at Flowers Unlimited or City National Bank.
Okay, this next guy, it's a concert by a Christian rap artist. Agape is his name, and he's a Lutheran. It's his background.
Okay.
Now that took me a minute to register. Usually, when I think of hip hop, I think of something edgy. Like a lot of the Bible churches that are appealing more to a younger generation, not Lutherans. Lutherans in my, my bias, they're more mainline. They have
Okay.
an older congregation. So, but this is something sponsored by the Washington County Lutheran Coalition. They were looking for a large venue to hold this, and then the Ringgold Church of Christ in Ringgold offered to hold the concert. So Agape he's a hip hop artist, but his songs they're faith-based. So he talks about his own life. He talks about life living as a Christian. And so they brought this in to appeal to a younger audience.
Yeah, so you can get a diverse group there. That's great. So let's look at that information really quickly. It's going to be Sunday at 2:30. Make sure you check that out. The Ringgold Church of Christ in Hagerstown.
Actually, it's in Ringgold. That was my bad. But yes, it's in
I
Ringgold.
was thinking, I wonder where that is.
And tickets are $5, and there's a phone number there to call for more information. Now, I have to quickly mention, I love carillons. There's a couple of carillons in our area. Carillons are bell towers with ranges of bells that are actually tuned so you can play music with them.
Okay.
You can play songs with them. And there's a carillon at Mercersburg Academy, and there's one in Frederick, which I go to once in a while. The one in Mercersburg is in their chapel. It's called a chapel, but it's big. It's like a church.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful, exactly. And James Brinson is going to be playing it. You can listen to him up in where he plays. You can watch him and listen. You can be down in the sanctuary and listen, or you can be outside even, of course, because the sound carries. So let's get that information quickly on the screen. A concert is at 3 o'clock Sunday, the 17th, at Mercersburg Academy in the chapel, the Irvin Memorial Chapel. It's free, there's no charge, and there's an email address or a website there if you want more information.
That's very exciting. That almost makes me want to trek up to Mercersburg over the weekend.
Now,
Sounds
real
great.
quick, the Annie is showing. It's the being on stage at the Capitol Theater in Chambersburg. Annie is one of those shows that everyone should see.
Everyone loves.
It's just a great family-friendly show, but it's smart enough for the adults too. Let's get that information up on the screen for you. It's opening this weekend. That's opening actually Friday. And it's at the Capitol Theater in Chambersburg. Tickets are $8 to $18, pretty reasonable.
Very reasonable.
And there's a phone number there and a website and an email address
All right.
for more information.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for joining us on the calendar.